In 2001, a disturbing case of alleged demonic possession shocked the world. Latoya Ammons, a mother of 3 from Indiana, claimed that her children were possessed by demons. Today, we will delve into the details of this chilling case, explore the evidence and theories surrounding it, and try to shed some light on the mysterious events that took place. This case is one of the most controversial and frightening cases of demonic possession ever reported. So sit back, relax, and prepare to be spooked as we take a deep dive into the demonic possession of Latoya Ammons' 3 children. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to our channel, turn on the notifications, and like this video. Let's start. Background. It all began when, in 2011, Latoya Ammons, her mother, and her 3 children moved into a new rental home in Gary, Indiana. At first, everything seemed fine, but just a few days later, strange things started happening. The supposed hauntings, which some believed to be a case of demonic possession, became so severe that Latoya Ammons needed to undergo an exorcism, lost custody of her children, and eventually moved out of the house. While some remain skeptical about her story, both religious and government officials have acknowledged that there was something peculiar about the so-called demon house located in Gary. Some people who were associated with the family were not convinced by the story. Additionally, there will be many who find it difficult to believe Ammons' claim of supernatural events. However, regardless of the reasons behind the eerie situations that happened to the family, whether they were experiencing a collective delusion or were possessed by demons, it resulted in one of the most extraordinary cases ever handled by the Department of Child Services. According to the Indianapolis Star, the family began to notice large black flies gathering on their screened porch despite the cold weather. They attempted to eliminate the flies, but they kept returning. After this, they started to hear footsteps. Both Ammons and her mother, Rosa Campbell, reported hearing movement from the basement on many late nights, as if someone was walking up the basement stairs and sneaking into the kitchen. However, there was no one there. Even after they locked the door between the basement and the kitchen, they continued to hear the ghostly footsteps. Campbell's life took a spooky turn when she woke up one night and saw a dark figure pacing in the living room. To her surprise, she found wet footprints where she saw the figure. Despite the eerie events, Latoya Ammons and her family tried hard to settle into their new home. Unfortunately, things took a turn for the worse, and the situation became even more terrifying. 4 months after the family had moved into a rented home, they experienced a life-changing event. It was around 2 a.m. and the family was mourning the death of a loved one with a group of friends. Campbell, Ammons, and her children were normally asleep at this time. Suddenly, Ammons, who was in Campbell's bedroom, let out a loud scream. "Mama! Mama!" Campbell quickly ran into her bedroom, where her granddaughter and a friend were staying. To their shock, they found the 12-year-old granddaughter levitating above the bed, unconscious. In a state of panic, Ammons and several others surrounded the girl and began praying. Campbell recalls being terrified by the experience. Campbell recalls telling her daughter, "We need help. We need to talk to someone who knows how to deal with it." Campbell and Ammons were not sure what it was, but they believed it was supernatural. Although most of the local churches didn't believe them, one church suggested that there might be spirits in their house. They recommended the family clean the property with bleach and ammonia and draw oil crosses on all the doors and windows. Additionally, 2 clairvoyants also confirmed that the rental home had spirits, precisely 200 spirits. Ammons was advised by clairvoyants to move to resolve her issues. However, due to financial constraints, moving was not feasible for her family. As an alternative, she followed the clairvoyant's advice and created an altar in her basement. Ammons draped a white sheet over an end table and placed a white candle and a statue of Mary, Joseph, and Jesus on it. She opened the Bible to Psalm 91. She said she and another person wore white t-shirts and scarves on their heads. Meanwhile, the Ammons family continued to be terrorized by the dark energy in their home, causing their fear to escalate. The children began speaking in low voices, whispering statements like, "It's time to die," and "I will kill you." When they spoke, their eyes bulged and their mouths curled into unnatural grins. Ammons felt lightheaded and warm, as if she wasn't in control of her body. "You can tell it's different, something supernatural," she shared with the Indianapolis Star. Ammons has claimed that her youngest son used to speak to an unseen boy, and supernatural forces threw him across the room. Moreover, her daughter started hearing voices that predicted her death and separation from her family forever. The impact of these events was so severe that the children had to miss a considerable amount of school. As a result, doctors and police got involved. However, they were not prepared for what they would discover. Government agencies witnessed the paranormal activity. Latoya Ammons took her children to their family doctor, Jeffrey Onyoku, on April 19, 2012, for a checkup. During their examination, Onyoku noticed that the children exhibited strange behavior and made disturbing statements in low voices. He described their behavior as delusional and expressed his fear about the situation. He said to the Indianapolis Star, "20 years, and I've never heard anything like that in my life. I was scared myself when I walked into the room." While with the doctor, the children continued to show signs of demonic possession. According to reports, the boy allegedly walked up a wall and did a flip over his grandmother. Both a nurse and a DCS worker witnessed the events and were so terrified that they ran out of the room. Some people, though, had doubts about the situation. They believed that Latoya Ammons' children were in danger. As a result, DCS took quick action to separate Latoya Ammons from her children. This decision left Ammons feeling heartbroken. She recalled to the Indianapolis Star, "We'd already been through so much and fought so hard for our lives. It was obvious we were a team and we were beating it, whatever we were fighting. We made it through together as a team and they separated us. The demon haunting Latoya Ammons is defeated." After Latoya Ammons and her children were separated, the DCS invited the Hammond Police Department to the Demon House to inspect it. The police officers, along with Campbell, noted several bizarre incidents while inside. According to their report, the two officers experienced radio malfunctions, captured the presence of a white smoky apparition, and seemed to record a ghostly voice saying, "Hey." During a subsequent visit, they also observed a strange oily substance dripping from the blinds. A local priest named Michael Magino learned about the case involving Latoya Ammons. He decided to investigate the matter. After writing a request to a bishop for permission to perform an exorcism on Latoya Ammons, he conducted a small exorcism. 2 police officers and a DCS case manager were present during the exorcism. The DCS case manager told the Indianapolis Star, "We felt like someone was in the room with you, someone breathing down your neck." Reverend Magino performed 3 exorcisms on Latoya Ammons. After the 3rd exorcism, one of Magino's associates burned a piece of paper with the demon's name on it, and Ammons started feeling normal again. She and Campbell moved back to Indianapolis, and in November 2012, Ammons regained custody of her 3 children. They were happy to put the memories of the demon house behind them. Later on, Zach Baggins, a paranormal investigator, purchased the house and demolished it in 2016. However, he saved pieces of its basement for his Las Vegas museum. Latoya Ammons and her family have no desire to revisit the demon house or its former location. She said to the Indianapolis Star, "When you hear something like this, don't assume it's not real because I've lived it. I know it's real." The story of Latoya Ammons and her family's alleged demonic possession is one that has captivated the public's attention for years. Despite the skepticism of some, Ammons and her children maintained that they experienced something truly terrifying and unexplainable. The events that occurred at the Demon House in Gary, Indiana, continue to be a fascinating and unsettling case that raises many questions about the nature of the supernatural and the limits of our understanding. While we may never know for sure what truly happened to the Ammons family, their story serves as a reminder that there is still much about the world that we do not understand. That's all we have for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.